We're going to go through a quick example here of the workflow as far as editing HTML files and uploading them to the web server. The basic template that we'd like to have everybody use is on the CSCI105.com website here under the resources page. At the top part you'll see here HTML help and template files. There are some links to the HTML tutorial sites and reference sites like w3schools.com as well as the validator here. The file we're interested in right now is here, template.html. Note that if you just click on that, you'll get a blank screen. What you need to do is right click and save the link as, and we'll navigate to the chapter. We're going to put this in a chapter 4 file, and we're going to save it there. Then we're going to go to the chapter 4 folder, and now note that if you double click on the file, it's going to launch it locally in your web browser. That's not what you want to do. You want to right click and say edit with Notepad++. That should be an option now on your right click menu if you've installed Notepad++. So that will come up, and this is the basic template that we'll use for most of our assignments. Note that lines 2 through 7 here are comments. This sequence with the greater than sign, exclamation point, dash dash, and then whatever's in between that and the dash dash greater than sign is considered a comment and will not show up on your web page. So you need to put your name in here, and you need to do this on each one. This is assignment 4 dash something, and the current date today happens to be 9/27/2015. Now let's turn our attention down here to line 9 where the HTML code starts. This has to be in every file so that the web server knows how to process it, knows to use the HTML protocol markup language. Here we have the head section. The meta characters define what the character set will be. In other words, what kinds of letters we want. English, American type letters. And we'll talk more about what that means sometime a little later. For right now, you just need to make sure that that's in there. And then the title of the page is what will show up at the tab on the top of your page. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Rally information. So that's what we'll call the title of this page. And then down here we have the body tags. So everything between the body tags is what will display on the page. Notice when you're using Notepad++ that it highlights for you the beginning and ending tags. This makes it easy to find out sometimes where you accidentally left off a tag. So I'm going to go down here where the page content begins, and it's a good idea to indent your information. It just makes it a little bit easier to read. So the first thing what we're going to do here is I'm going to start off with an H1 tag. So heading 1 is the larger one, and the title of my page is going to be General Rally Information. And now I'm going to close that tag, and it's, notice that Notepad++ is helping me out here. It kind of knows where I'm at, and it assumes that it's smart enough to figure it out, so it'll put it in for me, that you have to close the tag. So notice that these two tags open and close the information. Now my next piece of information is going to be another header, but it's going to be a little bit smaller. We'll make this one an H3 header, and we'll call it Introduction. Then we'll close that off, like so. Then we're going to open up a new paragraph. The tag for the paragraph is just a P. And at that point we can begin typing. Road Rally is something that I enjoyed doing back in Colorado. We participated in the Glenwood Springs Road Rally, which runs from Denver out to Glenwood Springs. And it's actually a time distance rally. And let's see, this is hard to talk and type at the same time here. Used to own a 1990 Jaguar that we used on that particular rally. That's hosted by the MG Car Club. But all vehicles are welcome, so there was quite a variety of different cars there. Mostly European, but a lot of American things too. So it's a game, in a sense, in which precision driving and navigational skills, come on, spell that right, are stressed. I'm not going to type a whole bunch of stuff here, just enough to give you the idea. So now I'm going to close my paragraph tag with the /P, and that's all we're going to do for the moment. So at this point I have input the title that's going to show up at the top of the page. Inside the body I've added some information that will be marked up in this dependent upon the tags that I put around the information. So the heading tags enclose this content, the H3 tags this content, and this is a paragraph. So what I'm going to do is now, okay, let me point out something here. If you're not careful, you'll end up saving the information over your template, which is not something that you want to do. You need to remember to do file save as and give it a new name, which typically would be the homework assignment name that you've been assigned. I'll call it rally.html. So that's now the name of that file. The next step then is to use our WinSCP to move that file I forgot where I put it already. There it is, chapter 4. And over here on the right hand side I need to navigate into the www folder and go into the chapter 4 folder so that we're in sync here between the local and the remote. I'm going to drag that over and drop it. I guess I spelled that wrong, didn't I? Let me rename that. HTML. Get typing too fast here. Notice the little icon shows up when it's got the correct extension on it. Now I can go to my page using the browser, open up a new tab, and go to this. Mine happens to be an older name than yours. You'll use your net ID. Chapter 4 /rally.html, and there's the information that I put in. So we have the header H1 displaying in large format, the introduction and a smaller header, and then the text that I typed in. So that's the basic sequence that we're going to go through as we update information.